Protein.
What?
Yep. New Protein Eggo Waffles. Same great Eggo taste with 20% of your daily protein. Lego My Protein Eggo.
$15 million dogs and counting know. Simparica Trio offers triple protection against heartworm disease, ticks and fleas, and intestinal worms, all with one monthly chew. This drug class has been associated with neurologic side effects, including seizures. Use with caution in dogs with or without a history of these disorders. Don't just protect, triple protect. Nice feeling dreams. I'm tired.
Ready to lose weight? Think Wegovy.
With Wegovy, I've lost 35 pounds.
I lost 46.
For the first time, I'm keeping the weight off. I got this. I'm protecting my heart.
Wegovy is proven to lower the risk of major cardiovascular events.
Don't take if you or your family had MTC, MEN2, or if allergic to it. Tell your provider if you plan to have surgery or a procedure, are breastfeeding, pregnant, or plan to be. Stop taking and get medical help right away if you get a lump or swelling in your neck, severe stomach pain, or any of these allergic reactions. Serious side effects may include pancreas inflammation and gallbladder or severe stomach problems. Call your prescriber if you have any of these symptoms. Wegovy may cause low blood sugar in people with diabetes, especially if you take medicines for it. Call your prescriber if you experience vision changes, heart racing at rest, or any mental changes. Depression or thoughts of suicide may occur. Side effects of nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea can lead to dehydration, which may cause kidney problems.
Why wait?
Ask your prescriber about Wegovy today.
Let's talk murder.
We need to go face to face with the mob. It's like a Godfather. I made him an offer he couldn't decline.
Okay.
Be there even when you can't be. Money received directly into your bank account. When it counts. Zelle.
Team, it's been a grind, but I think I've aged you well. Some might say perfect. Who's ready to show 'em who's the cheesiest? Who's up there the cheesiest, guys?
Cheez-It, official sponsor of the college football playoff.
For the first time ever in Call of Duty, you're going to be able to share your weapon builds. You can send a build directly to a friend so they don't have to create it themselves. We're also adding a build code to Gunsmith. So whenever you see a screenshot of another player's build out of the game, you can enter the code to copy the exact same build.
Pre-order now.
Beekeeping has helped me heal in a way that I never thought I could ever find again. It's given me a brand new purpose. Now my service is making the world better. It's stewarding the honeybee, it's stewarding the food that we eat.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to 1930. The future of Downton is now in Mary's hands.
Whatever happens, we'll find a way to make it work.
Are you coming? Good idea.
Not you, Harold. We have a lot to talk about, you and I feel sorry for Uncle.
Is there a murder mystery I could read? Agatha Christie?
There might be some in the nursery.
Happy Thursday, everybody. We are camping in an actual campground today. It's abandoned, not a soul around. And I'm going to sleep actually right on the ground underneath of this tree without a tent. Because it worked so well last time with normal summer gear. I said, how far can I push this? So I'm going to just put a tarp down and sleep right by the fire. First things first, though, I got to bushcraft a fire. Picked up some firewood. Go. some here. There. So, hopefully these big ones will light properly. That should get it going. Now you're camping with Steve. Okay, it looks like it's gonna go, but just to be sure, I've thrown in some garbage from the car and some of these zip fire starters. Can't go wrong with a few of them in there. And definitely want to be nice and warm in these cold weather conditions. Oh yeah. Now with the fire going, it's time for a well-deserved step 2. Yum yum. Time of year, I don't even need a cooler. I just leave stuff out in the snow. Actually, I have to put hand warmers in my cooler to stop stuff from freezing. Neat times out here. So this will be the actual shelter is going to be this tree. And I'll just quickly set up the shelter here. All right, done. I'll just put the sleeping bag on there and sleep right by the fire, under the stars. I'm gonna get dinner started simmering now because it's gonna be a stew tonight. And that'll take a while to cook. So, just use your regular knife you took out of the kitchen, IKEA brand, and brown up some beef. Canola oil. First. The meat is brown, and I just picked up one of these packages of beef stew spice mix stuff. And I'm pretty sure I can throw it all into hot, get it boiling. That you don't waste anything flammable around here. And the instructions call for 2 cups of water. That sounds gross, so I'm just going to use Guinness. Dollar store bottle opener. All right. Don't burn your spoon. Get that stirred up. When I throw in the vegetables and potatoes later, I'm just using cans of potatoes, cans of vegetables, and I'll just dump them all in. So this has got a long time to simmer. As that's simmering and cooking, I'll just briefly mention what I brought with me. A cheap tarp from Sporting Goods store here, $40 or so. Cheap sleeping bag from that same store. Canadian Tire, if anybody is curious, but you may know that's where I do a lot of shopping. The fire starter was just a standard issue road flare from the auto department of said store. Whatever I could scrounge out of the kitchen. And this, typical folding chair, Outbound brand. It's actually broken, but works good enough. And I just got, clothes from the thrift store on. Keep myself warm today. So while this cooks, I'll do a quick walk around before we lose our daylight. And then we are going to be eating good tonight. There is a garbage for my garbage, so that's convenient. And I'm the only one here, of course. Just gonna walk down. I think the bathrooms are locked up, but I'll check. Awesome. Washrooms are open. So sadly, there is a highway right there, so there's some road noise. But I drove in looking for a spot that was further from the road, and it's not plowed, so I got a little scared, and then I just decided I'll camp right here to avoid any problems. And a playground with a swing set over there, should I choose to indulge later. I don't see a lot of animal tracks out here, but I did see some out on the road, so I could take a look at what we might have out here for wildlife. There hasn't been too much wildlife around here, judging by the tracks lately, but there's a lake just up there. I'm going to go peek at the lake. That lake's a lot farther than I thought. I might just mind my stew and have another step 2. Step 3. So I tasted that. Basically, I think I got a little overboard putting that whole can of stout in there. So I had to water it down with beef broth and kind of chuck in some onions. Let that simmer some more. And of course, throw in a little pepper. All right. And you can add more liquid to the fuel here because I was not anticipating the stout to boil down to such an aggressive flavor. But when I added the broth to it, that's fine. So, potatoes. I've never used canned potatoes before, but I really like convenient camping things. Okay. Diced potatoes. Got a date with the stew. And so do the sweet peas and carrots. And again, I'm not straining them because I want to water down that really aggressive flavor. We'll let that.
Okay, craziest touchdown ever.
Tennessee Titans, Music City Miracle. I called it.
Is that right?
Yeah, I told everybody it was about to score.
You didn't tell nobody nothing. That's a fib.
New customers bet $5 to get 300 instantly in bonus bets.
All get to know each other here in the pot. Yeah. Looks like it's going to be a fine stew. We probably can't even see it from here. But we got this here. Oh, the beef is just falling apart. So, let this simmer for a while longer. I know people are going to be questioning whether I actually slept outside tonight or not. I'm throwing a time lapse on tonight so you can actually see the full experience of me snoring and tossing side to side all night long beside a mediocre fire in minus 15-degree weather, which is 5 degrees Fahrenheit. Well, it's cold, I'm not going to lie about that. But I got an ace up my sleeve. I'm going to put my other sleeping bag inside of this one. That should help get me through the night. A little bit of snow particles falling on this guy. And that's what I used the other week. This sleeping bag here. And I was just fine. So, I'll put this one inside of it. And that's the last ace I have up my sleeve. Because I know for a fact I'll be crawling to the car if I don't have this actually prepared. This other sleeping bag, again, from the same place. And let it loft up, but it's polyester on the outside. It's very smooth and comfortable versus nylon, but both are equally susceptible to sparks coming off the fire. So, those two things should keep me alive tonight. But we'll see. We will see how that goes. All right. It is that time. Time to dig in to some beef stew on the campfire. And wow, is this good. I'm actually going to get out and show you as much as I can here. The meat, if I can find a nice chunk of it here, just flakes apart. Like that. It's all delicious. Oh, yeah. Doesn't get better than that. And like I said before, I go a little easier on the stout because that did impart quite a flavor on it. Maybe half a bottle would be pretty good. But I had some Band-Aids available to patch it all together. Fresh baked tray buns from the bakery. Oh, yes. Is this ever good? I'll be in a food coma tonight. So I hope you could see what it looks like. I know you can't taste what it tastes like over YouTube, but I have to give a big shout out to all of the beer donation funds because really it helps me take a day off of work or an extra day a week off of work to be able to film this stuff. And I couldn't do it without you guys. I'm going to give another shout out to Dan and Chris from Paradise, California. They've been a good sport as well. burn them. So glad the bears are all hunkered down. So glad. There's probably very few people that have had to do this in the world, but I'm putting a hand warmer into the cooler that I was mentioning earlier so that my modest breakfast does not freeze. And that should be enough to keep it going. And this is just like iron filings and some salt and stuff. And it starts to rust hyperactively, and it's an exothermic reaction. It just gives off enough heat to keep all these good things in there from being frozen solid in the morning. I actually have to put a few of these on to my cell phone, or one of them at least. Hopefully it won't wreck the cell phone, but I want to be able to record a little time lapse of me. I've never watched the time lapse of myself sleep before, but I guess I will tomorrow when I'm empty. Here's what happens. Got these packs. I'm gonna tape one onto the phone so that can film all night, hopefully. And then I'll tape one or two maybe onto this external battery pack. Lithium-ion batteries do not get along well with freezing temperatures. I had to do a little stuff to restart my tablets and laptops instead. Yeah, nothing safer than highly explosive battery wrapped up with warming pads, but it should do the job. Before I get into bed, I put all the wood I can on this fire. I hope this is going to be nice and warm. So far, so good. Feels cozy. Well, see you guys in the morning, and gonna hunker down for a little bit here. Oh yeah, this is quite okay. Good morning. That worked awesome, actually. Crazy cozy night. Nice cool air in the face. And the rest of the sleeping system worked just fine. So I'm gonna crawl out of my nice warm sleeping bags. And I'm not starting fire, but I'm gonna get breakfast going. Oh yeah. Am I recording? Let's see. No. So I really had good intentions of having a tomato with my breakfast today, but that froze. So no tomato today. Okay, the butane stove is working because I warmed up the cylinder. I had that little butane cylinder in my pocket. Keep it warmed up. But I'm just going to warm up the bag. I'll put some cream cheese onto it for a fairly simple breakfast. Unfortunately, no tomato. So the one thing I did need to do last night was put my head under the sleeping bag a little bit because the snow was coming down. And even like right now, it's a clear blue sky, but there's these tiny ice particles that are falling down just from the moisture in the air, and they were falling on my face. So sometimes you have to tuck your head under the sleeping bag when it's super cold. You probably shouldn't though, because it'll put in a lot of humidity into the sleeping bag. But I did have to cover up, so here's the one purpose of the shelter. I normally don't eat the breakfasts because I'm in such a rush to get back home and edit, etc. But I am ahead of the curve because I'm using different software now, and I should be able to. It's mostly edited, so it'll upload pretty quick. This will be good. Oh, pan toasted goodness. And I will cream cheese the bejeez out of these because cheese on everything, including breakfast. But one of the nice aspects of this setup is there's nothing to really tear down in the morning. I gotta basically just stuff the sleeping bag back in the bag and roll up the tarp, do a final garbage sweep of the area, and then hit the road. An everything bagel. That'll get the day going nicely. Well, that definitely takes the cake for the least gear I've ever brought on a camping trip. It's quite freeing actually to not have to bring a wood stove, etc. That was doable, absolutely doable. And a far cry from how I used to camp, back in the motorhome days. But it's a time to reevaluate your life when you find yourself drinking beer with a bunch of carnies in a Walmart parking lot on a Tuesday morning. So this is looking forward to the future and moving forward. So who knows? Maybe I'll drag this stuff in one day with a backpack somewhere. Anyway, I'm going to get this edited up for the regular Thursday video, guys. Thanks for watching. If you've made it this far, please subscribe also if you have. I promise I'll do my best to get more videos up. And I do have occasional surprise videos that pop up, so that way you'll see them as well if you're subscribed. But if not, you can just check in on Thursdays, and there should be something up every week. So until next time, you're camping with Steve, and hunker down, guys.
FanDuel's dropping profit boosts every college football Saturday. So how do we spread the word?
I got it. We boost our bus with rockets and fly to tailgates everywhere. Voila! Get a profit boost every college football Saturday with FanDuel.
Ah, yeah. Welcome to being snowed in at Steve's place. We had a huge dump of snow. We got the plows in and cleared it. Then it snowed again. And our little car just can't make it up the hill. So we're going to get it plowed as soon as we can, and new tires on the truck. And we'll be more mobile. So I am camping in the yard tonight. I know it's not everybody's thing, so you can bail on this video if that's not what you want to see. But next week we'll be up to the usual stuff, out traveling around, provided there's no restrictions. So I got the summer gazebo tent. I'm going to set it up right here. It's going to be pretty cold tonight, about minus 14 Celsius, which is around 7 degrees Fahrenheit. And like, this is a summer gazebo, This is more in place at a beach in the summer than it is out in the backyard in this type of weather. So we'll set this up. I'll throw in the heater, and I'm going to see if it's possible to survive the night camped to the one of these with basically screens for walls with little wind panels. So let's see what happens. Let's get some heat in here. Mr. Buddy Heater. There we go. About 450,000 BTUs in this thing. Should do some toastiness. A long night ahead. When it's not used for a while, propane leaves the hose in the pilot line. So you got to kind of let it run for a little bit to get propane back out there. And eventually she will want to burn. If that can't come soon enough, it's a little chilly. Good, she lit. So once this is going, I'll move the propane cylinder outside, because if it did get too hot, it would be very unlikely that this would get too hot in here to cause the tank to vent. But if it were to vent with an open flame here, the tent would Hindenburg in like a second. So we don't need that type of a problem out here. I'm sure a beautiful wife wouldn't be happy to look out the window and see that. Go there, guy. There, safe. Safe. My favorite sleeping tool is a cot. Like that. Easy pop-out cot will get you through some slumbery situations. That's for sure. Yeah. An awkward sitting device. And there. Close this and let the heat saturate this place. Things are going to be off the charts cozy, I'm sure of it. I sure hope so. With enough time, this buddy heater melts all the snow into like a perfect hexagon shape on the ground. But this is not exactly as warm as when I've used this in my ice fishing hut. That ice fishing hut, very similar design to this, except instead of screens, it was all like polyester stuff. So this, it's bearable, but you're well aware that it's cold. Like I can still see my breath, but there's radiant heat I can feel on my legs and everything from this. So it's you really are aware that it is I'm going to say winter, even though that's not for another couple of months, month and a half. But cheers, everybody. It's time to crack step number 2, because step number 1 has been accomplished of getting some shelter. And it is such a good feeling once you get the heat going, you get the shelter set up. And I know it's going to be very cold tonight. It's well on the way there right now. But just having that big burden of worrying about getting things set up, just get it done first. Don't turn step 2 into step 1, because there was a bunch of memes about that this summer floating around online. Oh, yeah. Peaceful out here. So fundamentals, the same sleeping bag I used under the bridge, same sleeping pad I used under the bridge, both incredibly bright, loud in color. I mean, it doesn't matter here very much. And of course, a Woods brand hammock underneath of it. This is an older one I've had for years. Still works just great. And that's, it should do the job for the night. It'll keep, I'll probably have to move a little closer to the heater, to be honest, because it's already feeling a little bit chilly. And throw in a few more layers of clothes, because that's number 1. But well, that's number 3. This is number 1, number 2. You know how it goes. Yeah, that's melted a little bit of snow around here, which means it's time to cook up a little meal. And we got nothing fancy at all today because we're snowed in at home. I grabbed a small can of mini ravioli, and we'll dump that in the pan. We're going to try to make it more palatable because being around home, I got a bunch of...
Get 12 months of your whitest smile with a money-back guarantee. Try Crest.
Orgain Creatine. It's good for your muscles and mind. Premium creatine monohydrate with 0 fillers or additives that supports muscle strength and power and brain health. Elevate your performance with Orgain Creatine.
The cloud is limitless, but without limits, your business is exposed. Tenable sees cloud risks others miss, so you can close cyber exposures fast. Tenable, your cloud exposure ends here.
Knows, when you start grilling, the guest list starts growing. That's why we help you get everything you need and more.
Mind if I crash the party?
Dak Prescott.
To help make the most of every gathering this fall.
Appreciate you guys.
2 Schmiskets. One for right now, and one for right after right now. Get any 2 breakfast sandwiches for $6. Why the sheets not?
Bunch of spices and stuff I can put into it and hopefully turn this into people food. Oh, I can smell it already. There we go. Probably a fine time to mention, I don't have any wild animals around here, like bears or anything that would cause me concern eating in a tent like this. More likely the food I eat will kill me sooner than any wild animals. There's a big plug of frozen sauce at the bottom. Oh, that makes all the sense in the world. Okay. Whole thing is dealt with, and I'll find my stove attachment. We'll get this cooking. I did not expect conditions to become that windy, which normally they don't out here, but that's the way things go. Looks like it's going to tip it over again here in a second, unless I do something drastic. But we'll get this canned stuff heating up. Some extra ingredients need to be added to make this more than just the bachelor meal that checks off all the boxes. We're going to make this a little bit more gourmet. Done a little balsamic vinegar. Can't go wrong with that. Probably a tablespoon worth. Get a little more acidity. And along the lines of acidity, squirt of lemon juice, small one. Yep. Because if you actually eat this stuff, it tastes like ketchup or tomato soup or something like that. Pepper in there. Go. I've got some beef bouillon concentrate, so it'll give it a broth sensationness to it. Not a whole lot, but a little bit. Yeah, that was a bit. For sure. Alright, pouring that now. there. A pinch should do. Now, when they originally make this, they leave out the oregano for some reason, so here we are. Oregano in there. Okay, so fixed up so far. You can never go wrong with liquid smoke, right? This will probably dose it a little bit better if I do it this way. Yep, a little liquid smoke, get some smokiness. And garlic. My spoon's over there somewhere, but we can probably get some garlic in there. Just free pouring it. There we go. Bit of garlic. And for later, I got finished her off with some freshly grated Parmesan. So I'm gonna stir this up. It's smelling less disgusting already. That's great news. You know, that actually worked. I did not really expect it to taste that good. I thought we're going to toast up a little sourdough on the Mr. Buddy here. And there is a whole group dedicated to cooking and rigging these Mr. Buddy heaters up to cooking. I don't know what it is, but I've got a few comments about it. You know, toast up a little bread. Actually, Parmesan cheese. Yeah, this is going to be a decent one, I think. Not too shabby. Sophisticated Chef Boyardee. Yeah. For what it is, 5 thumbs up. That's all I can say. The only downside is these raviolis are a little bit fragile. They break apart. However, much better than I remember as a child. Mm-hmm.
Why waste detergent rewashing? That's why I switched to Tide Power Pods. They're pre-measured to meet the cleaning needs of today's big machines. They are packed with 4 times more cleaning power and 2 times more odor fighters. Skip those costly pre-treaters. If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide.
Chipotle just dropped Build Your Own Chipotle.
Let's go.
A mini Chipotle experience at home.
Feeds 4 to 6 people.
We have a lot of food here.
Lots of protein, rice, and beans.
Everybody can make whatever they want, and there's plenty to go around.
Absolute game changer.
Hey guys, it's Jen. As a beauty creator, one thing I've learned is that our teeth deserve to be a part of our beauty routines just as much as skincare and makeup. I'm always asked what I do to get my teeth really white, and I don't gatekeep. It's the Colgate Optic White Pro Series Whitening Toothpaste. The formula is powered by hydrogen peroxide, which is the same ingredient dentists use to whiten teeth. Say less. It only takes 3 days to start seeing a whiter smile. Okay, time for me to knock out my neck.
About time to hunker down pretty soon here. I kind of realized the only way to really survive this is to bring the cot closer to this guy here, the heater. This is a completely different animal than the ice fishing shack. That thing, I could be a lot colder than this, and this guy would really heat the whole thing up quite nicely. I would never be afraid for my life, but any colder than this, I really wouldn't try it with this setup. Too many air gaps, and even these tent flaps on the outside, they cover the outside, but they don't do a very good job of it. So this is just an experiment, I guess, which is going to be hopefully cozy. It was already borderline delicious, so that's a great thing. And I have to give a big shout out to all the people that have been donating to the cause, crowdfunding my midlife crisis, because I don't do corporate sponsorships. So everybody that's donated, thank you very much. And we're going to keep on going for you guys. That's just what we do around here. So I got my big orange yellow caterpillar. Crawl in there. Hunker down right away. It is about minus 14 outside right now. In here, I don't have my thermometer. Depending on where you are, it's probably around 32 Fahrenheit up towards the top. Down here, we're talking, it's probably -5 Celsius. I'm crummy with my conversions. That'd be in the 20s Fahrenheit somewhere. So it's what it is for now. I'm gonna crawl into here. Thanks for watching along so far. And if I make it through the night without this thing blowing away, I should be okay. But wind usually isn't a problem around here. On a still night, you really, I was not expecting the camera to tip over and everything to move around here. It's just unusual. I usually find just throwing a little weight on each corner on the edge with logs or a rock or something does the job. Cursed zippers. There we go. Just getting the base feeling of how cold I'm going to be. Waiting for the sleeping bag to do its job. Might be a cold one. Oh, yeah. there's no good option. I can either point the heater right at my face or right at my feet. Right now, my feet feel like they're going to need the help, so I'll just leave it right there. We'll see you guys in the morning. That was doable. This is not the appropriate choice of structure for cold weather camping. The screen tent in minus 14, 15 Celsius conditions. It's pushing the boundaries of what this thing is capable of. But with the buddy heater, it was a pretty good sleep. I'd give it 1.5 thumbs up, and maybe 1 thumb up. I find I need a thicker foamy because I'm a side sleeper, and on a thin foamy, I just have to keep flipping over side to side all night. You probably will be able to see that in the time lapse. So that's the issue there. If I had a thicker foam mattress, oh, it would have been beautiful. It'd be a 2 thumbs up sleep for sure. Overall, yeah, it can be done in a pinch, but there's better tents for this. So that's what we're gonna do next time. And I have a big thank you to everybody because we're over 400,000 subscribers now. So I can't thank everybody enough for subscribing. What I want to do is something special. We're actually packing up. Today is upload day. And if we can get up the driveway, we're going to probably ask a friend to come and tow us up the hill so we can get into town. And I've got a vehicle rented until we can get ours fixed and new wheels on the truck, etc. So we're going to be heading into town right away so I can go sit under a cell tower and upload this, as well as to get our hands on a 4-wheel rental vehicle to get up and down the driveway. What I want to hear is for a 400,000 subscriber special, what do you guys want to see? Because special is going to be one above and beyond the regular weekly one that I try to get up on Thursdays. So if you got any suggestions or comments of what you'd like to see for a 400,000 special, please let me know. And please subscribe, like, or comment. Of course, if you can tolerate this type of camping, because it's always fun to read the comments, try to get back to as many as I can. It's going to be a long, cold winter of trying to get through comments. If I haven't gotten back to you, please don't take offense. But I literally have about 20,000 emails in my inbox right now. And I'm hacking away at them bit by bit, day by day, because I don't have a secretary or like staff on hand or anything like that. It's literally like me with a laptop trying to manage all this, which is another reason I don't get involved with the corporate sponsorship dealies, because that's just way too much to have to deal with. So it's the way the channel's going for now. Thank you guys for coming along. It's always a blast, and I can't wait to hear what you're going to suggest for the 400,000. Once I get them all like in the top suggested ones, I'll actually put that to a vote or something so we can see what we're going to do. But lots of videos coming up. Once we get this vehicle, we're probably going to be heading down the road, depending on travel restrictions, into BC, because there's a great place there we love to call second home almost, and we're going to be filming some videos up there. So it's going to be some fun times coming up soon here. And I've stepped back, slowly stepping back from the furnace repair work to get into more content and dealing with this channel. So it's hopefully things will be a little more stable on this end, and hopefully I'll be able to go back to fixing furnaces when the bottom falls out of YouTube here. So cheers, guys, and we'll see you real soon. Thanks.
He's a bell, he's a boy, he's bell boy. Hotels bring him joy, he's bell boy. Desk clerk with the best perks, like up to 20% off hundreds of thousands of hotels and a whole lot of other stuff I can't get into right now.
Orgain's 30-gram protein shake provides muscle support. With 5 grams of BCAA for peak performance, it's made with premium protein and no artificial sweeteners. Power up with Orgain.
Hey everyone, welcome to Camping with Steve and Crazy Neighbor. It's going to be really cold. Yesterday morning it was minus 40 degrees Celsius, which is the same in Fahrenheit, and we're expecting more of that overnight. So in order to stay warm, clearly these jeans aren't going to cut it. So we brought that insulated tent. We're going to set that up with the propane Mr. Buddy heater, and we're going to really push the boundaries of what this thing might be capable of. So, first things first, we need a spot to put this. This tent it's an ice fishing tent, and if you follow the channel, you'll know I use these quite a bit in the winter. And it has no floor because it's an ice fishing tent, and you need that open to get the fishes out of the lake and into your tent. So we'll be keeping boots on. I'm not putting down a carpet or anything. I tried that when I first started to camp in the winter in these, but everything melts with the heater on, and then the carpet freezes right to the ground. So I don't want to be coming back in the spring to chisel a carpet out. This is an Otter Vortex ice fishing tent, insulated model. I'm not sponsored by them, but I don't mind showing a cool product when I find them useful. Okay, time to get some heat in here. Oh, Mr. Buddy heater, we were experimenting with it yesterday to see if we could cook on it. We melted the handle, so we cut that right off. We managed to boil water, and now we can get food closer onto there to cook. So one less thing to bring. I hope it works in here. So we'll snake some propane through this little hole here. And with these temperatures, minus 44, that's where propane stops flowing altogether. You could pour it out onto the ground and it wouldn't even evaporate. So I really like to keep propane outside, but in a situation where it's lethally cold outside, we may be bringing that in a little bit later. Okay. Thank you. These heaters, if you're hooking them up to a big tank, they sell these filters. Same brand, Mr. Heater makes these filters. And you really want that because there are fine orifices in the burners here that will plug up. I've heard it's for contaminants in the hose, or maybe just contaminants in the propane itself. But those little green bottles don't seem to have an issue. And we'll put a highly flammable board underneath of it. That's the way we roll. Good. And we let this place warm up. The dangerous part's over. We can stay warm now, and we'll do a couple more trips to grab a couple of funks, some of the other things that we need to get. But for now, it's definitely time to warm up. That put a little chill in me. How about you? Yeah. Our heat went out. Oh, really smell the propane in here. Now, I've seen this before, and I think what's happening is that we're getting liquid in the propane line because it is that close to the temperature of the vaporization of propane that when it's come through the hose, it might get some liquid in, and then when it heats up in here, you get these surges of high pressure. It's called liftoff. It means there's too much pressure to the pilot light, and if we don't bring that propane cylinder inside, we are unfortunately going to be very cold tonight. So that's the way we have to go with that. Hold on. Okay, so it's exactly what I was talking about. There's liquid propane coming out of this hose. So it's okay, yeah. Yeah, we just better let this air out before we try to light it again. All right, so on the buddy heater, this is the filter part, and you can see the liquid propane coming out. So that's not a good thing. We have to get this warmer before we're gonna have any heat here whatsoever. Can you bleed off all that? Yeah, I'll bleed this off outside, and then we'll see if we can get it to run again. Sure. Yeah. Okay. We got just vapor in there now. Still some heat coming up. Don't do any of this home surgery on bleeding liquid propane up things. Just give up unless you're a certified gas fitter. And actually, even if you are a certified gas fitter, it's probably time to go home. So we're going to try to hook this back up. Got all the liquid propane out of there. And hopefully we'll get enough warmth on it to heat up the cylinder to vaporize the propane. And all that technical mumbo jumbo. Let's get back at it. If we keep that on low, dangerous thing to do, but we got to get that cylinder a little bit close to the heat source, or we ain't gonna have no heat. Okay, seems like it caught. So it's lit and it's warming up the cylinder. This is the only way to do this without those hand warming packets. If you had a bunch of those strapped onto the cylinder, it would keep it warm enough to work. But we're going about this in not the best way. However, if your options are freezing to death or being inside with the cylinder, I would pick the cylinder. That made all the difference. So yeah, in minus 40 degree situations, these aren't going to work very good with a buddy heater setup. In fact, back at the acreage, Dave, our carpenter, had his furnace stop working on him last night. And that happens when you get to these temperatures that are close to minus 40, is you have such a diminished capacity for vaporizing that propane. I'm getting technical, but you don't get as much out of it as if you got a big heater, it's not going to be able to run it. You starting to feel a little bit better?
Oh, I can feel the heat big time.
Yeah, it's radiant. It's got to heat everything in here up first. Still see that breath, but
it's diminishing.
A frosty cold beer should warm me up.
I would hope so. Yep, too.
Cheers to everybody.
It's not frozen.
Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, all those good things.
Well, it's cold.
It doesn't warm me up. We could have picked eggnog or something, rum and eggnog would have been better.
Yeah.
We got all the heating concerns figured out. Unfortunately, this is staying here tonight. So.
Okay, craziest touchdown ever.
Tennessee Titans, Music City Miracle. I called him.
Is that right?
Yeah, I told everybody he was about to score.
You didn't tell nobody nothing. That's a fib.
New customers bet $5 to get 300 instantly in bonus bets.
So I'd recommend if you're going to go out and do this type of camping, have some warmers taped on, those little hand warmers taped onto your cylinder outside. The big danger being that if this overpressured, there's a relief valve and it just set propane off in here, source of ignition, and we don't want problems like that.
No, we don't want to lift up the tent.
Well, thankfully it's not staked down, so we literally could just lift up the edge and get out real quick if we wanted to.
Oh, yeah.
So outside right now is minus 34 degrees Celsius, and that's minus 29 degrees Fahrenheit. I've got this wireless thermometer. And for reference, inside, if you'll notice, I can't see my breath, and I'm sitting here quite comfortably.
Yeah, I finally took my teeth off. Yours are warm.
I can just go take my jacket off in a bit. It's 20 degrees in here, Celsius, which equates to 68 Fahrenheit. So I am expecting it to get a lot colder outside tonight. I'm thinking we're going to probably hit that minus 40.
I think so.
And there is such a temperature differential between inside and outside right now. We're not getting too much frost because this is a double layer tent. There's some building up on the lower spots, but this heater does give off a lot of moisture as well as us breathing. So it's going to take a lot of hunkering down tonight. Let's see. I wonder if we'll have enough clearance.
We're in the right place to shoot.
Okay, well, yeah. There she goes.
Yeah.
Crazy neighbor's just out there grabbing a pot so we can start cooking some dinner here shortly. And the trusty eco fan runs on the Peltier effect, just off the heat from the fire, creates an electrical current. Right on, we got the pot. Okay, good. Not quite frozen, so that's good.
Very good.
Dinner tonight, we're making cabbage roll soup.
Cabbage roll soup?
With cabbage rolls. That's some frozen cabbage rolls. For those unfamiliar, it's different than an egg roll. It's Eastern European dish, and it's essentially, meat, like ground beef, rice, wrapped in cabbage or maybe bacon, and then covered in tomato sauce and baked. So we're going to make a soup, which is basically the same thing. And in case that's not satisfying enough or substantial enough of a meal, we'll dump in a few frozen pre-made cabbage rolls, because what goes better with cabbage roll soup than cabbage rolls? All right, so I'm going to chop up some onions because, as always, I like to fry up some garlic and onions and then decide what I'm going to make for dinner. Yeah, this onion is severely frozen. Yeah. Why do they always cook the stinkiest things in an enclosed space? It's always got to be chili or cabbage or something
Well,
like that.
we're relatively safe. Theirs.
Well, that's true, but I just mean for our own sense of smell, not the bears. That's working okay. There's an entire subculture of people that like to cook on their Mr. Buddy heaters, and they've come up with very elaborate rigs and contraptions. And it makes sense because it's heat in the tent, and you should probably use it to cook if you can. So it takes a bit of time, but we got nothing but time. We're hunkering down in the cold. That little fan will actually run in reverse if it's cold on the bottom and hot on the top. So while we're cooking, we put some snow on the bottom, and the heat from the Mr. Buddy heater is enough to almost kind of make it spin backwards, and then it'll draw the air the other way. Because this is the most entertaining thing we can think of to do right now. But yeah, that's a reverse eco fan drawing the air away at a very slow rate. It's getting hot in here, so
It is.
we are taking off some of our clothing.
Outer clothing. Yeah.
Can you pass me the onions, please, crazy neighbor? Thank you very much. So the beef actually browned. which is great. Probably took 20 minutes. Calls for a couple of table knives of garlic. Fry that up, and then we'll throw in the rest of the ingredients. I didn't bring a whole head of cabbage to dice out here. We got this coleslaw mix, because that actually includes all the other things that the recipe calls for. Little bits of carrot, maybe, why not? A couple of tins of tomato sauce and some broth and some rice, salt and pepper to taste. At this point, you dump everything in. Beef broth, cabbage, a couple of cans of tomato sauce. Yeah, it's okay. Recipe calls for a half a cup of rice. Dig into the bag here like a raccoon.
Yeah, sure. It's a good fistful.
If you wanted a little brown sugar in there, who needs utensils or anything